Black students and the first co-ed school to grant bachelor's degrees to women. Oberlin is likely the only college in America that I could have attended nearly 2 centuries ago. And that's why I'm here today, students. I'm inspired by your commitment to service and social justice. I'm not going to lie to you. For many of you, this is going to be a clamorous highway. And the truth is, after 4 years of thoughtful, respectful discussion and debate here at Oberlin, you might find yourself a little dismayed by the clamor outside these walls, the name-calling, the negative ads, the folks yelling at each other. You might feel a little discouraged by the polarization and gridlock that too often characterize our politics and civic life. All that clamor to find a community of like-minded folks and work with them on causes you care about and just tune out all of the noise. I sometimes have that instinct myself. Run! I want to urge you to do just the opposite. If you truly wish to carry on the Oberlin legacy of service and social justice, then you need to run to and not away from the noise. Today, I want to urge you to actively seek out the most contentious, polarized, gridlock places you can find. Those have been the places where progress really happened. I'd say that debate was pretty polarized, wouldn't you? And think about President Roosevelt's struggle to pass the New Deal. Social Security was called socialist, a fraud on the working man. Ugliness is how democracy operates. The process of democracy might not always be as fast or as smooth as we'd like, but the fact is it worked. Generation after generation, this country has become more equal, more inclusive, more fair. Folks here at Oberlin were attending anti-slavery meetings, shivering on rough wooden benches in unheated, unfinished buildings. They were joining the Equal Suffrage League and speaking out for women's right to vote. They were leading civil rights marches and sit-ins and so much more. Electing the right folks matters. It matters a lot. Now, I don't know whether your president knows what I was going to say today. I know that he had some kind words for you all about this issue, but it's no coincidence that we're both urging you to get involved because we both know that you cannot fully achieve your goals of service and social justice if you turn away from politics and public policy. Are you planning to rally for marriage equality on the steps of the Supreme Court? I certainly hope so, but I also hope you will knock on doors and make some calls to elect a president who shares your values, because that president will ultimately choose the justices who decide those cases in the first place. And finally, while peaceful protests can be powerful, if we truly want to reform our criminal justice system, then we need to come together and do the hard work of changing our laws and policies to reflect our values. Sell out traitors. They knew that if they could just get everyone to take that first step, then folks would keep on moving. Often the biggest, most dramatic change happens incrementally, little by little. Out in the real world, there are plenty of people who think very differently than you do. So if you want to change their mind to move this country forward, you have to persuade them. You don't get to be precious or cautious or cynical. No, not when the earth is warming and the oceans are rising. You don't get to be cynical. Not when too many young people still languish in communities ripped apart by violence and despair. Not when women still make less than men for the same work. Not when millions of girls across the globe never set foot inside a school. No, not when many young people just like you, the men and women we honor this Memorial Day, have sacrificed their lives for your freedom to make your voice heard. And graduates, climate change, economic inequality, human rights, criminal justice, these are the revolutions of your time. And you have as much responsibility and just as much power. Just think about the folks who are winning those battles state by state, city by city, to ensure that everyone in this country can marry the person they love. Think about how just 10 years ago, gay marriage was legal in just one state in this country. Just one. And today it is legal in 37 states and Washington, D.C. Think about those elections in 2008 and 2012. Think about how even with all the gridlock and polarization in Washington, we have made so much change these past 6 years. 16 million people who finally have health insurance. Historic agreements to fight climate change. Epic increases in college financial aid. More progress on LGBT rights than any time in our history. And today, it is no longer remarkable to see two beautiful black girls walking their dog on the south lawn of the White House. Shape the revolutions of your time. Go out there and make it happen.